Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to the Dabs of Reality Show. I'm your host, Tom Crawshaw. Today I'm going to share with you how to get better sleep. I'm going to share with you why sleep is important, how much is enough, and what happens if you don't get enough sleep. And I'm going to share with you how to set up your environment, your bedroom, so you can get the most efficient, the deepest, the most magical, relaxing, and restoring, replenishing sleep you've ever had. Now, before we get into today's video, as always, if you're new here to the channel and you like this kind of content, please hit the subscribe button below and let's open the conversation. That's what the comments are for. I want to know, how many hours do you sleep every night? So drop me that in the comments below and let's see if you're getting enough sleep. Now, we all know that sleep is important, right? But reports show that over 50% of adults worldwide don't get enough of it, and that 80% of adults worldwide try to make up for the lack of sleep on the weekends. Now, catching up on sleep is not the same as getting regular quality sleep. Now listen, research shows that poor sleep can have a negative impact immediately the following day on your hormones, on your stress levels, on your cognitive performance, and on your ability to perform physically. And there are also studies to show, that I'll pop up on the screen right now, that you can almost double your risk of all-cause mortality by either sleeping not enough or sleeping too much. Now, these research reports show about 7 to 8 hours being the most optimal time for sleep. So if you're getting less than that, or if you're getting more than that, you could actually double your risk of all-cause mortality, and in particular, cardiovascular risk. So that's not something that we strive for here as humans. We want to live as long and as healthily as possible, but most of us tend to sacrifice our sleep. And for the reasons in this video, I'm going to tell you why that is such a bad idea. So let's get into a little bit of the science here. Now, there is a body clock called the circadian rhythm. Now, your circadian rhythm reacts to light, right? So typically when the sun rises, your cortisol level rises, and the light coming into your eyes puts you into an awake state. It triggers certain reactions in the body. And the same when the light dims and the sun sets, melatonin is increased and released into the body. Now, these are all hormones that do specific things in the human body. Now, with the advent of artificial lighting of our phones, of our laptops, we're actually taking in a lot of light, and in particular the blue wavelength of light, before we go to sleep. Now, that's actually going to prevent the release of melatonin, reducing your ability to sleep effectively. Now, what do I mean by sleeping effectively? Now, this is a really interesting thing to consider. Just because you go to bed for 8 hours doesn't mean you're going to get 8 hours of quality sleep. Now, if you're tossing and turning, 30 minutes, an hour, maybe even 2 hours, and you set your alarm for 8 hours later, then really you're only getting 6 hours of sleep. And maybe you wake up a little bit before your alarm, meaning you're probably only getting 5.5 hours sleep. So right there, you think you're getting 8 hours, but in actual fact, you're getting 6. Now, what is sleep made of? So we have light sleep, we have deep sleep, and we have REM sleep. So the two most important things here are deep sleep and REM sleep. Now, most adults should get from 1 to 1.5 hours per night of deep sleep. Now, deep sleep is super important for the restoration of your physical body and your immune system. Now, without enough deep sleep, you're not going to be able to rest and repair properly to perform at your peak capacity. Now, conversely, REM sleep is super important for the rejuvenation and restoration of your mind. So this is when information gets integrated, thoughts and memories get consolidated, and you're able to wake up with a fresh mind to problem solve and join dots. And arguably, most importantly, the REM sleep helps replenish your neurotransmitters, which is obviously super essential if you want optimum cognitive performance. Now, typically adults should be getting anywhere from 1.5 to 2 hours of REM sleep per night. So I'm going to go into detail in a later video about how you can track your sleep with something like an Oura ring, which shows you how much REM and how much deep sleep you're getting every single night. So then you're able to determine if you're getting enough and what the quality of your sleep is. So we're coming back to this point here again, that quality of sleep is way more important than the actual quantity of time you're in bed. So herein lies the problem when you don't get enough sleep, or when your sleep is irregular and inconsistent. You're disrupting your circadian rhythm. Your body wants to get used to a certain time that you fall asleep every night. And when you're constantly going to bed at 10 p.m, 1 a.m, midnight, 3 a.m, your body is confused and it's not able to get into a particular rhythm of restoration and rejuvenation. And consequently, your quality of sleep is going to drop. Now, I've seen this personally myself with the Oura Ring. When I'm traveling a lot, I'm going through different time zones, and the time that I go to bed is all over the place. Now, it doesn't help if you're drinking alcohol or if you're eating close to the time that you go to bed. And one of the metrics that this ring tracks is your heart rate. And for a good night's sleep, you want your heart rate to lower pretty quickly during the night. Now, an indication that your sleep is poor, if you're using a tracker like this, is when your heart rate takes a long time to slow down. And this is very, very noticeable in my experience through alcohol. So we want to have a pretty consistent circadian rhythm, and that's going to improve your body's ability to drop into deep sleep and REM sleep without the tossing and turning, without that lag time of maybe 30 minutes or an hour. So when you have a consistent schedule of sleep, you're able to fall asleep pretty quickly and get the most efficient rest possible. So what are some of the things that you must do to get the best night's sleep possible? Now, I've already mentioned one thing, that's having a consistent time that you go to bed and a consistent time that you wake up. Now, for most people, between 10 and 11 is an optimal time to go to sleep, and waking up around 6, 7, 7:30 in the morning. That's kind of the rhythm that I've got for me. I go to bed around 11 and I wake up around 7:30. But that's not the full story. So there's some things that you really must consider. So screen time, you want to reduce your screen time and completely eliminate it to at least 2 hours before you go to bed. It's also beneficial to have blue blocking glasses, you know, those kind of freaky orange ones that some people wear. You can get a Flux app for your Mac or for Windows, which adds a orange filter that filters out some of the blue wavelengths of light. You can also turn your phone on nighttime mode, which is super essential. Now, when you get your phone out in the evening, it's just blasting your eyes with blue wavelengths of light, which is preventing your body to produce melatonin, and you're not going to get a good night's sleep. Some other things to consider could be turning Wi-Fi off at the source. So don't just put your phone on airplane mode, turn your Wi-Fi off in your home at the source. It's super important. EMFs can really disrupt our sleep patterns, just not a good thing to do. Also, exercising close to the time that you go to sleep, it's going to stimulate your body and mind, and it's going to be pretty difficult to fall asleep. Things like caffeine and alcohol, it's pretty obvious, you want to avoid those close to bedtime. And then we've got to look at your sleep environment. Okay, so for me, I always travel with earplugs and a sleep mask, so no matter what, I can block out any of the sound if I'm on perhaps like a noisy street, or maybe my neighbors are playing some music instruments or music really loud. And then if my room isn't perfectly blacked out, then what I can do is put my sleep mask on, and I'm gonna get a perfect blackout over my eyes so I can make sure I get the best sleep possible. So it's important that sound and light is reduced to an absolute minimum. Ideally, you want to have total perfect silence and a completely blacked out room. Now, if you do struggle to fall asleep in the evening, then here's a few things that you can do. You could take a hot shower. It could be really useful. It relaxes your body, relaxes your mind. You could also try some supplements like zinc, magnesium, L-theanine. You could try some herbal teas just to relax yourself. You could try a meditation. So just before you go to sleep, you could put on a relaxing guided meditation and just lay back in your bed, and that will reduce your brainwave activity from beta, which is kind of the focus frequency in the brain. It's what we're tuned into for the most part. It'll reduce your brain frequency to alpha, which is more of a relaxed state, and ideally dropping down to theta, which is when we're going to go to sleep. And also, one of the common things that I hear when people struggle to go to sleep is their mind is just racing, typically because they've got something on their mind. So something here that could help is to journal before you go to bed. So get everything out of your mind onto paper before you go to sleep. Because I've had it myself, there's nothing worse than having this worry, this anxiety roll around in your mind when all you want to do is get a good night's sleep. So listen guys, I've given you a bunch of tips there on how you can improve your sleep and the reasons why it's important to do so. No one wants to double their risk of all-cause mortality. Nothing is worth sacrificing your sleep for. And it's okay when we're young, we think we're invincible, we think we can get away on as little sleep as possible, but that's going to come back to bite you in the ass when you get older. It's not a sustainable thing. You must prioritize your sleep if you want to operate at peak performance, both physically and mentally. So that's all I've got for you here today, guys. I hope you've appreciated and got some value from this content. What's your sleep like? Let me know in the comments below how many hours you sleep every night, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I know your time is extremely valuable, so if you've enjoyed today's content, please consider subscribing and clicking that notification bell so you get a notification next time I release another one of these videos. You can also leave me a comment below and let me know what part of this video resonated the most with you, or simply click that like button to let me know you enjoyed this content. And if you want to get your hands on a free 12-minute guided meditation that I recorded to help you manifest your dreams and create whatever you want in your life, go ahead and click the link in the description for your free download. And if you want to check out all the latest blog posts on my blog dabsofreality.com, the link is down there below as well, along with my Instagram and my Facebook page if you want to consider following me on those platforms. Until next time, catch you on the flip side.